want tacos.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California.
Call the blimey, Scott. You're a caution, ain't ya, eh?
Aye. Hey everyone, this is Liza. We are running ragged and behind and disheveled and only partly here, but we're going to make it happen.
Speak for yourself, darling.
Yeah, I said no more emergencies at 5 o'clock. We record at 5 o'clock.
And what did I say?
And we got an emergency at 5 o'clock.
I had an emergency in my trousers at 5 o'clock.
Wait.
A Mototown sticker put on it. Next thing I know, it's coming back up the driveway.
Well,
That's not supposed to happen.
Well, no, because what happens is when I apply a Mototown sticker to the gasoline tank, the new owner gets overwhelmed with more power because that's guaranteed 10 more horsepower.
And of course, you recognize the dulcet tones of Miss Emma.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
And hello, everybody in listener land.
Also on the Classic Girl Couch tonight, it's Lila.
Hey guys, good to be back again.
You're way too quiet.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I know. And joining us, he's get your shit together, son. It's Naked Jim.
Hey, what's up? Peace, love, and dirt bikes.
Hey.
Good to be here.
So, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but
I've got a lot of stuff to talk about too.
And hi.
Wait. And of course, it's Bagel.
Hello.
As you say, Stumpy John isn't here, so I'm running the board. I'm running everything. So I've not got my stuff together.
How could we forget about you, Bagel? We didn't really.
Oh,
It was just a ruse.
okay.
We got a lot of topics tonight, but first I want to say that I am brilliant. And this
What?
this fact was proven
Oh, I see.
today
Okay.
by our good friend Haley Bell. Emma, I told you this story earlier. Jim, you haven't heard this one, but I'm pretty proud of it. We talk about it quite often that riding is very important for mental health. And there are some people who will go against medical orders and still ride. Have you ever ridden while you were injured?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, we do
Oh,
that, right?
Well, and even the most astute medical person will say that there is a link between mental health and physical health that we still don't completely understand. I mean, you tend to heal quicker if you're in a good frame of mind.
Right? Didn't you do the dopamine effect not long ago?
The dopamine effect?
Yeah, remember
She did the dope effect.
Remember you were like
About
you read
an hour ago.
You read the MD Web
Oh, yeah.
thing about chemical release of motorcycle.
Yeah. So our friend Haley Bell it was like she dislocated her left index finger, but she went to the doctor about getting it put back in because she was sitting there trying to pop it back in. It wouldn't go in. And it turns out that her tendon got like hooked around her knuckle and it's going to be surgery to put it back in.
She put the lime in the coconut and drank it
So
all
her
up.
index finger is bent and is very bothered right now. And it's going to require surgery.
Sounds painful.
But she's like, but I'm going riding tomorrow morning. And I'm like, you really don't want to mess with an index finger. And she said, well, I can use my other fingers for the clutch. Yeah, but still, you're holding on to the bars while you're dirt biking.
Can't they just wrap the splint
and
like
she
the shape
charges,
of the throttle?
right?
Can't they shape the splint?
So that's exactly what I said. You need to make a splint that is shaped. Well, it's not the throttle, it's the handlebar. But still, you need to make a splint, a metal splint. She's like, well, but it's late here. It was like 9 o'clock at night. She's like, nothing's open. I can't go somewhere. I'm like, there's got to be something in your house.
Cereal boxes. Couldn't you just get some cornflake
metal,
boxes?
Something metal. So she started going through her kitchen utensils, and she found salad tongs that at the base of it is curved, and then it goes down to the two kind of spoons, right? And she's like, oh, it fit perfectly into her finger. And she went and slid it over her grip on her motorcycle. It fit perfectly.
Awesome.
So she cut off one of the arms right at the bottom of the sea, right? And then the other one, she kept it long because I said, what you need to do is not only do you need to mobilize your finger, you need to take the weight off of your finger and tape it to your wrist and your palm. So she basically put her glove in and then put this salad tong on her finger and her palm, taped it all together. So now when she was riding, it was her wrist that was holding her weight, not her finger. And she was able to go riding. She's like, oh, bloody hell, I had a great time. I even launched myself over the handlebars on a cliff. Took a whack at my head. I feel so great. I'm like, oh my God.
So it worked.
God. It worked.
It worked.
And she was afraid that if she got launched off the bike, her hand would be stuck to it. No, it popped right off. And now she's like, I can keep riding until I have surgery. She's so happy.
That's great. Brilliant.
And I'm like, there you go.
Well done.
Because, and the lesson here for me is, doctor said, don't ride. And I know her. And I know that she would. Just like I know many people who will still ride.
You could consider it a harm reduction strategy.
Exactly.
I thought Liza's lesson is like, the doctor told me to do this, so I'm going to not do that and just do the opposite.
No, I actually called Tamar and I put her on the conference call with me and Hal. I'm like, I'm brilliant, aren't I? And she's like, you should really get that fixed. I'm like, but I'm brilliant.
There's no slowing that.
So
Haley
anyway,
down,
that it made me happy that I was able to help her, but also it's just like I know what she's like many of us. Like you got to find a way to do it, but how do you limit the damage you're going to be doing as you do it? So anyway, that was cool. I'm brilliant. And also I had a great time last night. I went over to San Jose BMW and they did drive-in movie night for motorcycles. It was the Wyoming BDR film.
Oh, cool. Did you see our friends from when we got the Twisted Road bikes? Or is it a different part of the BMW thing? That was Triumph. That's what it was.
Triumph.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is different.
My bad.
No, but I saw Ray was there and some of our friends, and it was cool. They set it up in the parking lot, and they gave us street tacos and popcorn.
Oh, free food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
food.
awesome. Well, nice.
And the Wyoming BDR film is great. It's the best yet. And of course, our friend Jocelyn Snow is in it.
Why is it the best yet?
You know what? They've been getting better and better. The first ones, I think, were dry. They were more about here's the ride, here's the route, here's the what it's like. And then it became more like when Jocelyn came in on the last one, the New England. She brings a lot more like humor and
we talked about
fun
that. If Jocelyn
it,
didn't liven it up, it would have been kind of dull.
Exactly.
The writing was cool, but
yeah. And so this was that also. But one of the things I really appreciated, this woman Wendy, who was on the trip in the movie, and she was there last night. She's a trainer from BMW, the training center in South Carolina. And well, she's training to be a trainer. She's been training for 6 months on the big BMWs on their facility of how to do all the different terrains. And so here she's now having to apply it all in the real world and discovering it's not all as easy. She thought she was ready. But like one of the guys was saying, it's so funny to be in my comms in my helmet with you because you could hear her say things like, wait, sand and rocks? That's not fair.
right.
I know how to do sand or rocks.
But you can see, because when you train for that stuff, you train like in the sand section, then the rock section, right?
But she knew what to do and had to learn to trust, but also to learn in applying the techniques. They don't always go right, or and it was really cool that they brought somebody. She's not a novice rider, but somebody who had never applied the skills on an actual adventure ride, and to see her confidence growing. Just little things like things I don't train you for. Is like she dropped down into a rut, and she's like, "What do I do?" And the guy's like, "Ride it out."
The beautiful
keep
thing
riding
is
in the rut.
You do the exact same thing no matter what it actually is. You just pick your eyes up and keep going.
Yeah.
So that's cool, though.
Yeah, and Jocelyn actually fell quite a lot in this one because she's riding the rally, and they were getting in a rutty and very rocky territory. Yeah. And she says, I had to raise the suspension because on the rally, it has that live suspension. You can raise it up.
Oh, cool.
So that the cylinders and everything are clearing these big rocks. She's like, but I can't touch the ground. Like
I
she
can't
had
imagine.
nothing. She had nothing. So
Not being able to dab your foot in that.
she couldn't dab at all.
Yeah, that is.
She couldn't dab
hard.
at all. So it was cool to see somebody who we know to be so skilled and struggling, but never quitting, and getting back up and then jumping up and trying to ride it out and then falling again, because I mean, how can you? But then doing it and saying like that was awesome.
Yeah, she's fearless. Yeah, and talented.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
So do you get the itch to do any of these BDR things, Liza, at all? You've got the bikes. Do you ever just like, hey, let's do a section of BDR?
You know, it is enticing. And one of the things that BDR, backcountry discovery routes, that they announced that they're doing is this new thing called BDRX, which are loops instead of long routes. I could totally like do that. I like that. Like stay in a motel and do a loop.
Fully,
like
right?
shorter, like 1 day loops rather than a 6-day excursion. I don't know. It was cool. And on this one, it's clearly marked and there were splits or opt-out sections. So that was really cool to see that and go like, yeah, okay. But they did like 1,000 miles of this dirt and, yeah.
That's cool. I think it's great. I think anything that helps people learn about new places to ride is great. It's just the country's so huge. You know, you got the BDR routes, but then you go to any kind of open space, it seems like BLM land, and there's just this vastness. But it is kind of nice, like when we were going through Utah and those places, to at least know, I don't think we did any BDR sections, but it's cool to know that you're like, hey, you could go that way, and there's cool stuff to see and all that.
And I owe you an apology, Liza, because I wasn't able to actually make it for the for the movie night. I'm going gangbusters at work right now. So
is that good?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's busy work, but I've been putting in the midnight oil, so I felt really bad that I missed out on it.
Well, they had tacos. That's what I feel bad. If I had known that.
And speaking of work, I put you to work as soon as you got here today.
Oh, yes.
We had a new guy come, Russ, and he had a project. You want to describe what he was working on?
So Russ had the wheels from his brother's 1979 Honda CT 110. And he'd had the hoops enameled in black. And there's somebody new on the screen.
Shh. Don't notice them.
All
Don't
right.
notice them.
Well, I'm distracted. Anyway, he bought new rims and spoke kits, and he'd kind of laced them up and lacked the confidence to true them up.
Yeah.
So I showed him the way.
Well, I showed him part of the way.
Yeah.
Did you even know I knew how to do that?
No. No, I had no clue whatsoever. Lacing wheels is quite the thing.
It's a moment of zen, isn't it?
It
or a
really
long
is.
moment of zen.
When I get wheels I need to lace at work, generally I'll wait until the shop is closed and I'll pull the door down
Have a mushroom cap.
Get the mood light going, get my jazz going, and just sit there for a couple of hours and really get into it. Because it's kind of, it's art and mechanics combined. There's an artistry to it.
I could tell it towards the end that he was finding his artistry because I walked in and it sounded like I was in a Tibetan temple with
yeah,
exactly, with the chimes.
And
going.
he was getting the chimes going on the spokes, which is how of course you tell how tight they are. You know, the tighter the spoke, the higher pitch the ting when you hit it with the spoke wrench.
No tongs.
No, well,
unless you're making a splint for your finger,
right? But a loose spoke will just go thud.
Yeah. He was in there for a while.
I told him
it was a good
to.
experience for him. Though.
I told him to. I said, if you do these within an hour, you're rushing. Really take your time, understand what each spoke does and which way it's pulling the rim. He did great.
Oh, yeah.
And he got him to within a couple of hours.
Yep. At the bottom of patience lies heaven.
I think that's one of those things that like everyone should like tackle once or twice.
Oh yeah,
and I've done it on a couple bikes. But yeah, it is. It's getting in there and being patient. And the way I told him is, look, it's you just keep making finer and finer and finer adjustments, and you keep going back and forth, and then you finally got it down, but it's a sum of sight, it's sum of sound, it's all the things. But it's a simple tool. You just have to have a truing stand, which are not expensive, and a one of the forks for doing the spoke fork. That's it. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So we're glad to help him. And we also got rid of some gear today. Oh, yeah. We need to get rid of a lot of gear.
Oh, I was supposed to help you with that. I ran out of time.
Yeah, it's all right. Lila's going to help me too. So, we've got so much gear to give away, and we're being kicked out of the garage that it's in.
What?
What?
Yeah. So we have it all set up in my mom's garage, and she's like, I want my garage back.
What the hell did she want to do with it?
It's her garage.
Doesn't matter.
She wants to store her chairs in the winter there, her garden chairs. I mean, like, whatever. She just wants her garage back. So
there's a lot of gear in there.
A lot of gear. So we need to get rid of gear.
That was nice, though. That was convenient, but
I know.
what are you going to do?
I know. Well, the thing that's nice about all that gear, you can use it on any bike, any style of riding, right? Mm-hmm. Be it, dirt riding, regular street bikes, or even an electric bike, of which we had quite a few here today.
It was electric day a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there was. Well, it's hard to call Terry's bike a Zero anymore. It's
an electric Terry special.
It's a construction zone.
It's a Terry sled.
Yeah, and then some Energicas, but we always forget about the other big electric bike. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Livewire.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I think we're going to talk about it tonight. You know why?
Why?
Guess who's here to join us?
Who's that?
Remember our friend Diego with the Livewire?
Yes, of course.
That has a heartbeat in your butt?
DCAR 70.
Hey, Diego, how are you?
Okay, how are you guys?
Hey,
Good.
Diego, what's happening?
Can you hear us okay?
I'm perfect. Yeah, I can hear you guys
Great.
perfect.
And you brought a friend with you. Is that Daren?
Daren's down here.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Hey,
Yeah,
Daren,
right
how
on.
are you?
Welcome.
I'm doing great,
awesome.
thanks.
What a handsome combo they make. Look at those two guys.
That's why you got so distracted earlier.
Yeah, no, I was. I mean, Diego's a really good-looking guy, and then sitting next to him is another good-looking guy, and he's drinking large. Do you have gin in that mug, darling?
I'm not going to tell you what I have in the mug, but it's good.
I got a mason jar. You can guess what's in that.
It looks like you're
Not
drinking
yellow,
pee.
is it?
Pea
It is.
sample.
It looks like pee.
There's a cherry in it.
Pee with an olive.
It's one of the good cherries.
It's a pea sample with a gallstone
part of
in
my-
it.
Coming to this podcast and peeing in this is part of my probation.
Oh my God. So you remember last time Diego came on, he was doing that crazy going cross country on the Livewire. He's always doing something crazy. He's another one of them wackadoos. Well, he's got another crazy idea he's doing, and he's got other wackadoos to join him. Diego, you want to talk about what you have brewing right now?
So, I'll start it off, but I'll hand it over to Daren, which is the mastermind and evildoer on this venture of ours. But to make a long story short, we're placing or doing a race between the San Francisco Bay Bridge and San Diego, California.
Ooh.
Electric bike race. You got to imagine that. But I'll let Daren take over here. He'll kind of give you the background there and what we're going to do and all the neat stuff that's kind of brewing now. And take it away, Daren.
Yeah, Daren, what you got going on?
Sure. Thanks, Diego. So just quick background. What this kind of just all started just riding with friends that also had electric bikes. And we started to just try to figure out, much like the electric cars, what's possible and where can you go? Where can you ride? How fast can you charge? Can you go places touring like, and not just to and from work, to and from the grocery store and around the block kind of thing. So what is it, Diego? Like 2 years ago now, we decided, hey, let's see if we can ride. We'd been riding around Southern California for a bit. So we said, hey, let's see if we can ride to Vegas. And so a couple of us got a crazy idea. We said, hey, let's see if we can ride to Vegas. We think the charging infrastructure's there. And a friend of ours, Gabe, had already done it once on a Zero, but it took him a long time charging rather slowly. But he made it. So we're like, well, let's see what these new bikes can do. They can fast charge or DC fast charge off CCS. we said, let's see how long that will take them and us. And so Diego and I and a few other local friends decided, hey, one morning we're going to get up early. We're going to ride to Vegas. And we did that. And we wanted to see like what a good time would be. So we were racing each other and basically just seeing, hey, how long would it take us if we tried to just get there as quickly as these bikes will take us. And so we rode to Vegas. We got there middle of the afternoon. We had Livewire, we had Energica, we had Zeros, and it was all very interesting to see how each bike managed its battery size and its charging capabilities and where it would stop. And everyone had their own little strategy. We had a great time. We stayed in Vegas all weekend, and we rode back together on Sunday, and everyone had a great time. We said, well, that was cool. What else can we do? Well, let's go farther. That was like 240 or 250 miles to Vegas. We said, well, let's make a longer trip. So we said the following year, let's go to Reno. Let's see how long that'll take us. So we figured it was about double the length of time that it took, or the distance that it took us to get to Vegas. So this one was just over 500 miles. So we're like, hey, let's see how long it'll take us to get to Reno. So we left Disneyland last year. We rode straight to Reno, which is about 500 and some miles. And it took us anywhere from 13 to, I can't remember, like probably 15, 16 hours, depending on the bike, for folks to get to Reno. So again, it was a good experiment. It was a lot of fun. We stayed the weekend. We rode around Lake Tahoe. Guys had a blast. And we rode back. And we said, wow, let's keep doing this. Let's do it again. What else can we do? And we really had a great time, because what was different going to Reno was that some of the folks from the Bay Area heard about it and they said, well, hey, that's kind of coming up in our direction. We'd love to go too. And we want to meet you guys there, or we want to ride with you. And so there were some guys that met us there on their electric bikes. There were some locals that met us there. And there were some guys that were crazy enough to ride all the way down to Disneyland, meet up with us at Disneyland, and then ride with us up to Reno. And so, hey, we said this year, a couple of us were talking about it, and we said, hey, let's kind of toss one back to those guys in the Bay Area. Let's start there, and we'll ride and have a rally / race down to San Diego. And then we can kind of host folks when they get here, and it'd be kind of like, hey, we'll start in your backyard. We'll ride down to California. We'll end up in our backyard, and we'll be able to show you guys around and do some fun stuff that weekend. So we just decided to call it the Bridge the Bays, because they've got a good sized group in the Bay Area. We've got a nice sized group down in SoCal. We're all going to hang out together and do some fun stuff on electric motorcycles and have a blast doing it. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and it's coming up in May.
That sounds great. So you're leaving from the Bay Bridge. I'm interested in your strategy. Are you going to take 580, pick up 5, and then just head straight down 5?
I'm not going to tell you my strategy.
Well,
because Diego wants to beat me.
Interesting.
Well, okay.
So it's not the same.
Are you all going to be on the same route, or is it just a complete free-for-all?
That's part of the fun, is that it's kind of a free-for-all, because we want you to have the flexibility of determining your own strategy and you think is going to be the best place to charge, and where you think is going to be the quickest route. Shortest route may not always be the quickest, depending on what the chargers are like. So we leave it up to you to determine how you're going to get there.
You know, as a complete novice to electric propulsion on vehicles, I would have thought the infrastructure is probably better on the coast, but it is a slower route, whereas Interstate 5 is a far shorter route. But I should imagine decent charges are quite few and far between there.
It is different. So not each route, like say, let's just focus on the 101 versus the 5. So the charger locations are different depending on which way you go. So you're exactly right. You're going to have to look at that and do route study and figure out which you think is going to be faster for you.
So actually, it's been fascinating to see more and more chargers popping up. I was in Soledad this past week. Soledad, which is just it's a freeway exit with
prison town.
Yeah, it has a prison and a couple fast food restaurants. Nothing. I saw
And wind power.
There's like 2 gas stations. One of them, a small gas station, had a bank of 8 chargers installed.
My favorite
8 chargers in Soledad. I'm like, what?
Hey, my favorite breakfast joint in the whole of coastal California is in Soledad.
That's a fascinating story.
It is the windmill.
But I figured that is for the type of people who are traveling. It's
Right.
not, there's no one in Soledad I've ever seen an electric car there. This is simple folk, field workers, just very working class. But yeah, and the fact that it was 8, and this is something I learned when I've been, years ago when I was riding with Terry and Brian, 3 of us riding around, and everywhere we went had 2 chargers, which is a pain in the ass when you got 3
That's
bikes.
also part of the strategy because, like for going to Reno last year, we had a very key location that only had 1 charger.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had kind of an interesting, fun timing where I happened to get to that charger first. So lucky for me, I was able to plug in and charge. And about 30 seconds behind me, another racer pulled up and obviously couldn't charge because there was only 1. And we're in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So he had to literally turn around, get back on the highway, and then milk it pretty slow up to the next charger, which he didn't even know if he was going to make it or not. So you definitely would try to want to bias your choices at those big locations because you're not going to have a Bolt or an EV car or a Tesla or whatever it is sitting there, maybe blocking 1 or 2 of them. You obviously don't want to get delayed by having to wait for a charger. So that plays a big part in it as well.
Are you allowed to fight with your opponents at the charging station? Yes,
absolutely.
you are. Fighting is allowed.
Bring weapons. That's all.
Okay.
You spray him with a water bottle,
weapons.
dump a gallon of water on
I
his
see
head.
what Diego carries, and he doesn't even have a chance.
So, Daryl, might I ask, darling, what you're riding? We know Diego famously rides his Livewire and loves it to bits. What are you riding?
I'm going to be riding a 2022 Energica Ego Plus.
Lego my ego.
Yes, and it's going to be it's the full sport bike with the full fairing, and it's got the 21.5 kilowatt hour battery.
Go ahead.
I forgot. Now you looked at me.
Bagel had his hand raised.
Yeah,
before.
Bagel. Go to Bagel.
Well, I just wanted to raise a point about the strategy for this competition.
He's not sharing the strategy, Bagel.
Well, no.
I'm not sharing my strategy. We can share Diego's strategy.
Well, I just wanted to mention that one would think that going I-5 would be the best route because it's fastest and everything, but fast is not necessarily an advantage in electric vehicles because the faster you go, the more your wind resistance is and the worse your efficiency is. So if you take a slower route, you can go a longer distance before you have to recharge again.
Bagel hit it on the head. At the end of the day, when you're doing any type of EV racing, think of Formula One. What you're doing is basically managing the least amount of time that you're not out on the road rolling. Mm-hmm. That's the key. So the key is get there, get that sweet spot for your battery to charge as fast as possible. Don't top it off and go to the next one and hit that fast enough in order to beat everybody else's time. So that plays into the whole thing because people may think, I'm just going to go as far as I can, hit that battery get there at 1%, charge up back to 99, 100%. But the sad fact is that most of these bikes have a peak at charging at a certain rate between 20 and 80%. And then after 80%, they go back down to single kilowatt charging rates, which slows you down dramatically.
Or
so that kills.
If you ride 20 miles per hour, you'll never have to charge.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. But how long will it take you to get there?
So along those lines of charging, do you guys allow for custom modifications like quick charging? Like, do you have people built their own quick chargers or made modifications to speed that stuff up? Because I know that's popular with the electric wackadoo crowd, as we like to say.
Yeah, we we're still at the point where we want to include as many people as possible. So it really doesn't matter what kind of mod you have.
So it's like open class. It's like electric open.
It's totally open. And it's not that serious. We're there to have fun. We make some games out of it. There's some little prizes.
I call bullshit on that.
No, I do as well because it all starts
we want
off.
people to bring. We want people to bring whatever they have. And
Right.
Alan is a good example of him bringing, we call it the space shuttle because he's got his aero fairings and
Yeah, he's a friend of
stuff
ours
like
too.
that.
The silver
Right.
banana.
I love him. And I'm glad that he did Reno last year and it was awesome. And everyone was like, but that's not a stock bike. And I'm like, well, we don't care. Let's just see.
Yeah.
It's more, like you said, it's kind of racing, but it's also kind of experimenting and testing and seeing what the difference is. So it was a great ability for us to compare what a stock bike would do next to his bike and see the aero advantages that it gives. So if guys want to bring things that they've modded, we're all for it.
So, Daren, I'm just curious. Do you Energica guys get together with the Zero guys and make fun of the Livewire guys?
Do you wave to each other? What's the waving rule?
Look at.
The Harley guy doesn't wave. We know the Livewire doesn't wave.
No, the Harley guys don't do this either.
Most of us have more than one bike, and so and some of them are gas, and so we're kind of used to riding with mixed groups and just having fun with it, it's a blast. I mean, most of the rides we do in Southern California, it's a mixed group, and there's all different kinds of bikes. They're from all the different brands. And whatever we do, and ribbing and stuff is all in good fun, and guys have a blast doing it. So and we've got we've got guys and girls. We've got guys, their wives have bikes. They ride with us. All sorts of things. So
Wackadoos
really
come in every flavor.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
I hope you are not insulted. We refer to all the early adopters as wackadoos.
They are by far the smartest people we know. Like by far.
So no, I think
I'll bring up one thing. I'll bring up one thing real quick before we get on to maybe a different topic or direction here. But on the route choice and the strategy, another thing that you guys may not have thought of, or we haven't talked about yet, that's actually a pretty big difference in routes, is the terrain and climbing hills. So if you've ever tried to climb up and ride over the Grapevine going into LA on an electric vehicle or bike or motorcycle or car or whatever, you'll know that going up those hills drains the hell out of your battery. So that's also something else you want to take into consideration is what do the hills look like? What's the terrain look like? Is the 101 flatter? Are the hills smaller? And does that allow you an advantage to maybe go
taking
over
101.
the 5?
I'm going to play devil's advocate there because I think the Camarillo grade is as steep as the Grapevine.
It may be as steep, but it may not be as long. So
yeah, but you don't have that big downhill on the other side going dropping into Valencia.
That's what you're going to have to figure out is which is the lesser of two evils. So
I think it's as good a time, and I'm going to ask Diego the same question that I'm going to ask you. What was your decision process to buy an electric motorcycle? Because I'm guessing both of you are quite long-term motorcyclists, aren't you?
Yeah.
So tell me about, so I'll ask you first, Daren. What was your, is it Daren or Daryl?
It's N, Daren with an N.
Okay, Daren. So what was your decision process to go from an infernal combustion engine to elastic trickery?
Well, you're right. I have been riding motorcycles a long time. This was my first electric motorcycle. I never had a bicycle or a scooter or anything like that.
Thank God.
But I will tell you, though, that what got me hooked was I got a car first. So I initially made the transition to an electric car about 6 years ago.
Okay.
I got hooked on the performance. I got hooked on the not having to go to the gas station. I got hooked on being able to use solar at my house to charge it, all the benefits of having an electric car. And then as soon as I got hooked on that, I'm sitting there looking at my gas motorcycles in my garage, and I was like, well, I can't wait until they can do the same thing on a motorcycle that I can now do on my car.
Right.
And so I started looking around and researching probably about 5 years ago now. And so in 2017, my first ride was on a prototype Livewire. So Harley was doing a nationwide tour with some prototype bikes that they built. And I believe it was 2017. Diego would know. Yeah. And I got to ride one. I got to demo one when they came to San Diego. And as soon as I demoed that Livewire, and I had my car at the time, I said, I'm hooked. And I said, as soon as the battery size and the range kind of gets to where I wanted it, I said, I'm in. I'll buy one. And so I ended up, that was 2 years ago now. So I waited 3 years for the batteries to kind of get a little bit larger, range a little bit farther, and the charging also
Right.
needed to be faster. So when they came out with a model that had the right size battery with the right size range that interested me, kind of fit my needs, and then they combined that with the ability to level 3 charge with CCS, I said, boom, that's the combo. So I was like, I'm in.
So just to give people an idea, so Jim, if we were to hop on our leader bikes and ride from San Francisco down to San Diego, what are we looking at? Like 8 hours?
No, not that long.
Yeah, at most.
At most 7, 6 or 7.
You got to allow for traffic on the.
Well, it depends on because I've done it on the FC1.
Like 8 hours, right? Down to San Diego.
Yeah, 7-8 hours, I think, in that range.
Yeah. So how long do you guys think it'll take the fastest to get down to San Diego?
3.5 days.
It took us 13 hours to do 500 miles going to Reno, and this is about the same distance. So
Right.
I'm going to say somewhere in that neighborhood.
But I would think that there's even more charging stations now. Like I said, the ones in Soledad just appeared. That's on the 101 if you're taking that, Diego.
Well, it seems like one of the. Well, that's why I asked about the fast charging, and I kind of have another question that plays into it because if you can get the fast charging down, right, that's the name of the game. But the other part is there someone in your group who's got the sweet setup? Like if you're handicapping the race, who's got the bike that can go for your thing?
You mean?
Well, besides Alan,
the Streamliner.
but is there like one bike setup that's like really dialed in for this?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Point system? You want to talk about the point system?
We don't know. We don't know because a lot of people would say Alan's setup is pretty ideal. I mean, and if we all go the same way, that bike has a lot of advantages. So he could easily be the one to beat, assuming all else is equal.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
As long as there's no crosswind.
I was going to say, it's simple. It's simple physics. I mean, if you're all obeying the speed limit, then theoretically, the bike that can go furthest on a certain amount of kilowatt energy and charge the fastest is going to be the winner.
Well, let me ask this. Is it an Energica or a Zero? Which one just like out of the box is better? Or a Livewire?
Or a Livewire.
Which one's best out of the box?
Actually, I believe that the Energicas and the Livewires are better suited than the Zeros.
The Zero can't fast charge.
The charging,
so
based on the charging alone.
The challenge that the Zero has is, twofold. One, they have a smaller battery than I think both the Livewire and the Energica. So they are. But the biggest thing, though, is that they only level 2 charge. So you're going to be limited, and that also presents a location challenge because, as you've probably seen, not all level 3 chargers now have level 2 chargers co-located with them. Yeah. So you may have to go to a completely separate stop. And but they have some workarounds that you can add chargers and stuff like that to increase your charging speed. But I still think because they don't have the pure level 3 chargers that the other 2 brands do, it puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage.
And how many people do you have signed up so far?
I'd have to check the list, but I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 right now.
Oh, that's going to suck at the stop.
That's awesome, though. That's a whole nother thing.
We kind of got to wait. Diego, can I ask you the same question? Because you were a long-term motorcyclist too. What was your decision process to get an electric motorcycle? Was it the same as Daren's?
Well, it's very similar towards the later half. I started basically in my house. My dad and my grandfather were electricians, industrial electricians. So I've been around electrical devices, transformers, converters, and all that stuff since I was a kid. I myself, my profession is I'm an IT person. I work in information technology. So when you marry a battery with a processor and put wheels on it, an electric motor.
Oh, you're in hog heaven, aren't you?
So basically I did the same adoption process. I started with a Nissan Leaf. That was my first entry to electrical vehicles. Then I jumped over to the Tesla as soon as it became affordable to me. And then with my Tesla, I grew hair on my chest, and instead of sending it over to Tesla, I would fix it myself.
Was that a grounding issue?
Broke.
What happened?
Well, no, it's just I just felt ballsy because I was an IT guy, and I said, well, freaking, this is a computer with wheels, so I can fix it myself. So I started doing videos on how to take this apart, how to do this, how to flash this. and obviously it picked up, and it was excellent. I mean, it was like I didn't have to rely on Tesla for all the modifications and fixes, and obviously I've jailbroken my Tesla and I've done stuff. So as soon as Livewire came out as a product, because just like Daren, I had a taste of it, and I go, oh my God, I wish this came out soon. Back in 2019, I was like literally, I was about to buy an Energica, and Livewire says we're going to launch this on model year 2020. It'll be ready, and I said, here's my credit card, take my money. Pretty much. I was even willing to take the demo that they had at the Consumer Electronics Show that day. That's how bad it was. But I was so into it that I started tweeting about it, posting on Facebook, trying to build a little audience for it. And as soon as the first one landed in Southern California, I was lucky enough to secure that bike. And it was fun because I was running around town and everybody had to have second takes, third takes to look at that. I mean, so much so that I even sent the bike up north to Brandon and Morgan for them to do a review on the bike. And that's when I met you guys at the garage.
I think Diego may have fist fought somebody at the airport for that
bike. Liza got a chance to ride
I rode it
back early on. It was great being that outcast, the only guy in town with a Livewire, which was pretty awesome, and at the beginning I would pull up into all these biker bars and you'd see the bikers going, you're never going to see me riding that piece of shit. That's not a real Harley. Same exact lip service I had gotten with my previous bike, which I bought 20 years before, which was a V-Ride. That's not a real Harley, so it was. So
you're used to being on the outside.
I like being in that or exclusivity in a sense of a way.
The cutting edge.
So
yeah, but so it's great. It's great. And from that moment on, it's been a love affair. And I started pushing the bike, and I met Terry, and he started pushing my buttons, and started doing crazy rides.
Terry pushes everyone's buttons.
I know. Nice. So I have a question for you guys. Would it be considered cheating if you use the buddy system? The buddy system, if you didn't know, on an electric motorcycle is when you have one bike fully charged and the other one is tethered with a jumper cable. And riding side by side. Is that cheating?
That's a good one. I don't think anyone's tried it, but I'm gonna go with yes.
All right. What if I ride in a sidecar with a generator? You can just plug the Honda generator right in.
I have.
Ooh, I like that idea.
A one word. The answer's one word, and I'm going to ask Diego first, and I'm going to ask you the same question, Daren. Diego, do you have any regrets about buying a Livewire over the other electric brand?
No, none. I like my brand. I've always been a Harley guy since 1992 when I was able to get my first Harley. So I'm a brand guy, But at the end of the day, now that they switched over to their own brand, because as you guys know, Livewire is no longer.
Yeah, it's its own brand.
It's its own brand, and it's going public in the next couple of weeks. So. Did that faze me? No. I mean, I think by them spinning it out to its own brand, its own company, gives them the creative freedom to build products that they would probably have a harder time building under the Harley Davidson brand.
Daren, do you have any regrets about being the Energica guy?
No, not at all. I love the bike. I think it fits me perfectly. They're all a little different.
Oh, so yeah.
I don't think anyone can really say that this bike is exactly like this bike, which is exactly like this bike. They're all like slightly different. And I think they appeal to different people. And I just think, right now for the kind of riding that I'm doing, this make and model of the bike is perfect for me and zero regrets.
If you talk about brand progression, I think your ego is a good progression for a sport bike guy. So if we're talking about somebody who's used to been riding sport bikes, to get on an ego, it's a good fit for them. It's a very sporty machine.
It's very familiar.
Yes.
Right. So I can go ride with some gas sport bikes, and they can say, "Hey, let me try your bike," and you let them on it, and they're like, "Wow, this kind of feels just like my bike,"
There you go.
And that's kind of what their goal was when they made it. They're like, "Hey, we want to make this a high performing sport bike that we can race and track, and we just wanted you to go, wow, this is an awesome sport bike. It performs amazing. I love it, and it just so happens to be electric." You know what I mean? Where you don't feel like you're compromising. So I think that's an easy comparison and transition for somebody if you're already riding a sport bike, probably all the way up to a 750 or a liter bike, right? And then they have two other models. One's more like a naked, and then one's more like a standard. And so those kind of are better geometry fits for somebody who's not interested in a sport bike geometry. You know, they're like, well, I don't want to lean so far forward. I want to be more relaxed. I want to sit up, you know, and they're not concerned about so much of the sport kind of aspect of it. So they have a little bit of a variety there. Probably not as much as Zero. I think Zero has the widest spectrum of types of bikes that can appeal to just about everybody. You know what I mean? So if you really have a niche or you have something specific, one of the things I really like about Zero is their variety. You know what I mean? They're not just going after, you know, a high performance. They've got some things that are very good for potentially off-road or multi-road kind of scenarios, dual sport kind of things. And you know, I really like even the FXE, you know, as far as a fun little bike that you can do a lot of things with, that just came out this year. So, and I'm really excited, like Diego said, to see how they spin and grow the brand, because right now there's just one model Livewire, but like you said, they're about to go public, and who knows what they're going to do after that, you know, and so many of these like little custom shops and stuff are showing that you could put an electric motor and a battery in just about anything nowadays, and make it go. So it's really going to be exciting, I think, in the next probably 3 to 5 years to see what other models are going to be out there. So
I have a question for y'all. From the beginning, when the electric bikes came out, a lot of us asked the same question: why don't they have a fairing? You know, and then Energica came out with like a sport bike style, and then, you know, they came out with the SRF. Zero did. They're getting closer, but you know, Emma, there was I think it was like a concourse here today. You look at a bike like that, or even like a BMW R bike or an ST 1300, where the bodywork kind of shapes over your legs. The mirrors are protecting your hands. The windshield's coming up. Your entire body is faired through this simple bodywork. And I have to ask, do you guys understand why they haven't put better wind protection and fairings on these bikes yet?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I get that question a lot, you know what I mean? And especially how sensitive and, you know, that the aerodynamics affects the performance and range of the bike. You would think that would drive a lot more engineering decisions to make it as slick as you can.
But what I think is also a styling situation. You know, Harley Davidson is big into the styling thing, so they don't want to make something that may not be eye-pleasing to the general population. So they want to make it look as motorcycle looking like as possible. So you're not running around in a spaceship or something that is kind of oddball. That would be my best guess on the whole sacrifice between one and the other.
I think that's important for early adopters too, because and one of the things that I liked about the my Ego is the styling of it. I've had people on gas bikes, literally, like, we'll stop at a lunch stop or something. They'll do 2 walks around my bike and not have figured it out yet that it's electric. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's another thing, is that it looks so familiar. It doesn't make people look twice or be put off by it or have an opinion just because of the styling. They're like, hey, that basically looks like every other sport bike I've seen.
So in conclusion, we have 2 satisfied owners, and that they actually appear fairly normal. I mean, they are wackadoos in every sense of the word, but quite normal wackadoos.
Well, so I love the whole thing that it's like this kind of thrown together race. It's like it's a mad electric world. It's like, you know, run what you brung, come, you know, figure out your own strategy, and we'll see when we get there. It sounds like a great reason to kind of. Is it a race or is it a timed endurance
It's event? You against the elements with your strategy to get to the following stop, and then eventually make it the shortest amount of time. And pretty much you don't have to be, you know, the number one race rider. Anybody can pretty much join us and jump on their bike. And if they think they can cruise down to San Diego with us, they're more than welcome to come down. And who knows, at the end of the pot, there may be some nice gifts, which we're working on.
Oh. So I have a question
for
you.
One of our plans is to make it as inclusive as we can. Is you don't have to like win or get there first to win a prize, or you know what I mean? So there's other things that we're going to experiment with this year that we didn't do last year, that give people, no matter what kind of bike you're on or when you get there, the opportunity, you know, to get points and then potentially win prizes, you know, at the end. So there's some incentive. for folks who may not be, as inclined to want to race or push it as hard, or get there as quickly as some other people. They still want to go and they still want to have a good time, and it's still going to be a lot of fun. And it's not just, hey, we'll see you when we get there. One of the best parts about the ride is that more likely than not, you're going to see people en route.
Yeah,
and
right.
See people at chargers.
Totally.
Hey, you picked this charger? Well, I did too. And you'd be surprising how much overlap there is, because we all start at the same time. And we've even had people catch up to people on the freeway, like going into Reno. We had a rider catch up to another rider right at the very last charge stop. So they're like, oh, well, if he's pulling over there, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go to the next charger, and I'm going to hopefully beat him. So you'll also see people on the highway as you're riding, which makes it all the more entertaining.
And the parking lot fistfights. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, right. So I'm curious, you've referenced it a couple of times. What's the deal with the point system? What's the quick version of the point system?
Okay, the quick version is we are,
because it seems like a cool concept.
We're still finalizing it, but what we want to do is give people the opportunity to get points that are good at the end for prizes. So, for example, obviously, if you get to San Diego in the shortest amount of time, you're also going to earn points. So right now, I kind of think of it like, hey, you're going to get, like, say, let's just say, for example, 3 points if you get there first, 2 points if you get there second, 1 point if you get there or third, kind of a thing. So there's an incentive to get there as quickly as you can if you're if that's your goal. But there's also going to be slight diversions where, let's say, for example, you may have to take a different route or something, but there's going to be places that you can stop, for example, like a selfie, or do things that you wouldn't do if you were just racing straight there. That will also possibly get you points. So one of the things we were talking about was kind of like a game. So it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid, but there's going to be mixed incentives to do either one or the other, or possibly both. So depending on how clever you want to get with it, you could be racing for time, but if there's an opportunity to stop at, like we've talked about, maybe the Hollywood sign. If you stop momentarily at the Hollywood sign, do a selfie and post it, that's good for a point. Right. So you may or may not want to work that into your strategy.
Oh my God.
Because the more points you have when you get to San Diego, the more chances you have to win prizes or and make out. So that's kind of the point.
This is so up Liza's alley. I think Liza wants an electric bike just to play this game.
Yes.
That's brilliant, though. Well done. That's a great concept. Really
Thank you.
I got a question for y'all, since you're electric guys. Have you been following at all the concept, these hybrid bikes that are being announced coming out?
Yamaha announced a patented hybrid system.
Yeah, I have that on the screen. But it turns out there's a long history of hybrid bikes being developed, never really making it to market, but being developed. And I'm just curious with you guys, do you think this is too little, too late, the hybrid? Do you think the infrastructure and the technology is moving fast enough to go straight to electric? Or do you think that we need the hybrid to bridge the gap?
To me personally, you see a lot of prototypes these days, and it's hard to keep up with them all. But my personal opinion is this might be too little, too late. I think the electric technology is, if you look at what the 2022 bikes can do, or the latest offerings from any of the manufacturers, I think they're just going to blow right past this. And within a year or two, it's kind of like the range on the electric cars. You're like, you've got a car now that can go 500 miles on a charge. Are you really going to care about a hybrid car anymore? Be like, no, why bother?
Yeah.
And I think the bikes are going to do the same thing.
But the hybrids are what helped bridge the gap into. I mean, look how popular the Prius was, right? And it helped bridge the gap into electric. So I'm just curious.
I think to me, what will really help bridge the gap is the price point. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what price points these would come in at, but the Prius was pretty affordable for a lot of people, which really I think helped its adoption. And I think that's one of the challenges of the electric bikes right now is price point. They're a lot more expensive than most cars. So you've got to find some sweet spot. And that a lot of that's going to be in the pricing. to get people to make the transition.
And, motorcycles have a unique problem compared with cars, even smaller cars than Priuses. Real estate is always an issue. And with a hybrid, you have to have a gasoline engine, a means of powering the gasoline engine, a battery, and an electric engine. And that's quite a lot of stuff to put in a bike-sized package. So I tend to agree with you, Daren, that I think hybrids, as interesting as they are, I think they're really a non-starter for motorcycling. We need to go directly to full electric propulsion and just.
And what would be the maintenance required for a hybrid? Because one of the benefits that I've had with owning my electric motorcycle now, as well as my car, is the lack of maintenance. I mean, compared to my two gas bikes, I mean, they're so much simpler and don't require near the maintenance of a gas engine. Well,
I mean, I think the big question is, with all these mandates around the world about getting rid of gas vehicles and going to electric by 2030, 2035?
Yep.
Are we going to need these hybrids to help, fill the rest of the population to get us through that? I'm just curious.
Well, I have a little bit of a different thought on that whole thing. I see where you guys are coming from, but I also I look at it more from a pragmatic point of view. You have your old school guys who still like their chrome, they like their pipes and stuff like that, but you will never see them sitting down on, for example, the picture of the bike.
Yeah, but you know what? Those mandates mean new vehicles. Those old bikes are going to be there forever. The same argument.
No. What I'm saying is that they're going to be building some sort of hybrid drive, classic looking bikes to help bridge the gap. Because I know a lot of old timer guys who will never sit on an electric bike just because it doesn't have chrome, it doesn't have steel, doesn't have the pipe. So what I'm saying is that there's going to be hybrid drive systems that are going to enhance the riding ability of the current combustion engine. Now the question is, can we get all that package combined into a current engine? Maybe we're going to go down, instead of a 114 or a 117, back to a smaller size engine, and then you have to share the real estate with the electric powertrain, which is going to give you like performance if you had a 117.
Bagel, you're shaking your head. Why is that?
Well, I think, first of all, for the same argument that was raised before, there's only so much real estate you have in a bike, and having two propulsion systems in one bike just is adding so much extra weight and complexity that it's going to invite problems, and it's not going to be reliable. But the thing about hybrids is that they were introduced nearly, I think, about 20 years ago, weren't they?
Yeah.
Hybrid cars, and that was the time when there was no electric vehicle infrastructure basically whatsoever.
Al Gore would argue with you about that.
I mean, there was a very small amount of chargers here and there, compared to what there is today. So now there is the infrastructure that's able to support these vehicles. We just need more of it, because there are going to be more and more of these vehicles coming on the road as time goes on.
I know. Keep in mind that to put a motor on a motorcycle, you don't necessarily have to put it as a traditional electric motor somewhere in the chassis. You can also put motors on the wheel hubs.
Sure.
So,
but
those
now you're getting into
as well.
now you're getting into unsprung weight, and when you have a motor in a wheel hub, the unsprung weight, you've got to be really careful with handling characteristics now.
Or you got to have a lot of computer assistance to be able to manage that,
which
handling.
adds complexity into already small package.
Now, I will say that probably is not as big of an issue on a big cruiser type bike, because the rest of the bike has so much mass already. But on a very lightweight bike, having hub motors would be more of an issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I love what you guys are doing, because for a lot of people, including myself, the downside of an electric bike is the being able to ride a long distance and finding opportunities to charge and being able to ride with friends. And you guys have turned that into a challenge and made it fun. So that's something that's I love what you guys are doing. If there is somebody who wants to join or follow you, where do they get more information?
Right now, we've been doing pretty much everything on Facebook. So we've got a Facebook group that has kind of been the central location for planning and organizing. That's SoCal Electric Motorcycle Owners Group. There's links to it in basically every other electric motorcycles group on Facebook for the brand. So Zero, we've posted links. Energica group, we've posted links. The Diego's Livewire groups, we've posted links. So we're trying to kind of, since obviously, well, not obviously, but most people I think are using Facebook for whatever reason. It seems to be working as kind of a central way so we can talk and plan things and then execute. So that's the easiest way to do it, is if you have a Facebook account, if we can point you in the direction of that group, we can get you added and then join the event on Facebook. And then there's all the discussion for that. We're also trying to, we've got Instagram accounts that people are using personally to help spread the word on other platforms, things like that. But the easiest way is hopefully is if folks have a Facebook account.
Thank you so much. And I need to start wrapping this up. But before we do, Diego, I want to ask you, what's your prediction? Who's going to win?
This year with the point system, it levels the playing field. So the Zero guy, if he does additional points, he can easily take gold.
Do you mean Alan or anyone on a Zero?
Anybody on a Zero. I mean, at this time, because we know it, and we've talked about this in the past. I mean, when you have a bigger battery pack, and we said it here, you have bigger pack, you have more range, you have better advantages of being first in the finish line. So why don't we make it inclusive and add the point system, which then a guy with a Zero or a guy with the Livewire who doesn't have the 21.5 battery pack, if he makes that little detour, does that selfie, he might be able to catch up in points to the first place guy.
So,
I mean, it's been proven because there was earlier this year, last year, a challenge. It was called Charge Across America. It was a TV show on NBC, wasn't it, Daren?
Yeah, NBC Sports.
NBC Sports, where they grabbed every car that was out there. Porsches, you had Audis, you had a bunch of other cars that were non-Teslas, obviously, because Tesla has an inherent advantage of their network and their performance. But they grabbed these cars and they had a Charge Across America race between 5 teams, 10 people. And they did a point system. And at the end of the day, you would have thought, okay, the Porsche Taycans, the biggest battery in this pack, the fastest charging times, 250 kilowatts. It was insane. They were going to win, but they ended up coming in third because they didn't take advantage of the points. So that's where kind of it helps it out.
All right.
So there is no projection who's going to win. Anybody can take it.
Well, I'm in the group. Thank you for you inviting me to join. So I'm going to follow this and maybe we'll post the winner, see which bike won, because this is very exciting. I wanted to thank you guys for coming on and telling us about it.
Cannonball.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And as Diego was describing, that's kind of the intent of this year, is to not just make it a race where somebody or everybody knows who's going to win, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to keep it interesting. We want to make it as inclusive as we can. We want to make you not have a foregone conclusion on who's going to win. And I think we've got some new bikes this year that we didn't have last year. And I think that's going to toss this up even more. So one of those, we don't have the final list yet of the bikes, but I think one of those players on a new bike that wasn't available last year may surprise everybody.
Well, and I think I'm going to vote for Alan Smith too, because in the case of a fist fight at a charging port, he's scrappy.
Oh yeah, he's wiry.
Do not underestimate him. He's scrappy.
Yeah, he's in leathers all the time.
Well, cool. Thank you guys for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having us. We had a great time.
Good luck on it. I love what you guys are doing, like I said, and making it a fun event.
All right. Ciao, Daren. Ciao, Diego.
All right.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, it's great.
I like the game aspect. It's like a total now you don't know. You don't know who's going to win.
I know.
I love it.
Nice.
Well, you guys are welcome to stay with us if you want. We're about to get into game time.
Oh, my.
Oh, good Lord.
Diego, you staying or you going?
I'm hanging for a couple of minutes.
All right.
All right.
Then you can jump in on this because this is a fun game time. Everyone gets to play along, but I'm going to have you guys each keep your own score, and we'll see who wins. And this is motorcycle trivia.
Oh, God.
Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Ready as I'm going to be.
Okay. In 1887.
Do we hit the buzzer? How does this work?
No.
Okay.
No. It's a multiple choice.
Okay.
In 1887, Yamaha started as a piano manufacturer, but today is a multinational conglomerate that still produces musical instruments. Which one of the following do they not produce? 1. Wheelchairs. 2. Swimming pools. Or 3. Jet engines. All right, you guys need to lock in your answers. What do you guys think? Bagel, what do you think? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to go with 2.
Swimming pools. Emma, what are you thinking?
I'll go 1.
Wheelchairs.
Yeah.
All right, Lila?
2 also.
Swimming pools. Jim?
I'm going wheelchair.
Wheelchair. And Diego.
I'm just gonna go against everybody. I'm gonna go jet engine.
Okay.
Just
Well-
for going against it.
They also make, if you did not know, boats, car engines, swimming pools, industrial robots, wheelchairs, RVs, electronics, and golf carts. They do not make jet engines. Diego gets
Well
the
done,
point.
Diego.
Well done.
Wow.
Yeah, good job. All right, the next one. The record for the longest ever backwards motorcycle ride was set by I don't know how to say this. Dipayan Chaudhary in India on October 7th, 2014. How far did he ride backwards on a motorcycle? 1, 2.1 miles. 2, 50.2 miles. Or 3, 125.52 miles.
Oh, 3.
All right, Emma's going with 3. Bagel?
3.
3. All right, Lila?
2.
2. That would be 50. Jim?
3.
3,
Well, you can do
150.
50. May as well do 150.
125.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And Diego?
I'll do the same strategy. 1. Nobody else chose that.
The answer is 125.52 miles. Backwards. I think, yeah, a couple of you got points.
Well, I was going to say,
That's
if
Did we
you...
get that one? What did I guess? I can't remember.
Yeah,
You get
I did
two.
the
That's
long
what
one.
you
You
get.
if
Okay,
you've
yeah,
got the
okay.
technique, you're just going to ride until the gas tank empties.
Yeah, if you can go 50, you can keep going.
Right?
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Diego might have an advantage on this one. We will see. HOG became the official acronym of the Harley Owners Group and is the trading symbol of Harley-Davidson on the New York Stock Exchange. Where did the name come from? 1. It was from the early part of the 1900s Harley's racing team, the Wrecking Crew. They had a small pig as a mascot, and one of the riders would do victory laps with the pig sitting on the bike's gas tank. 2. Founders Arthur, William, and Walter raised and showed hogs on their farm growing up and were quite fond of them. Or 3. It comes from the shipbuilding term to bend or become bent convex upward along its length as a result, either of the whole being supported in the middle and not at the ends, in referring to the common occurrence of the frame bending too easily on the early models.
Number
All right.
1.
I'll go
Diego's
3.
number 1. Emma's going with shipbuilding term. All right, Lila?
3 also, yeah.
3, shipbuilding term. Jim?
I was going to go with 1 until 3. 3
3,
sounds,
shipbuilding
yeah.
term. And Bagel?
I'm going with 1.
1. The pig as a mascot is the correct answer. I made up the
excellent.
others.
Well, good making up.
Thank you.
Yep.
But hog actually is a shipbuilding term. It
Yes.
actually does mean that. It had nothing to do with motorcycles.
Here's a little trivia. There's an iconic picture of a racer back from the early 1900s holding a pig. It's a Harley Davidson jersey. And the story behind him is that picture was taken a week before that racer killed himself in a race,
Oh,
flat
wow.
tracking.
See, I
that's-
said Diego it might have a. I mean, then he may have an advantage. Okay, next one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Company founder Hirotoki Arai was once a motorcycle stunt rider, and the company is still privately owned today and run by the Arai family. But Arai got its start making something besides helmets. Which one of these is correct? 1. Was it a button factory? 2. Leather boots for hiking and soldiers? Or 3. A hat making company? All right. Bagel.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Leather boots for hikers and soldiers. Emma.
I think number 2 as well.
Leather boots and okay. Lila.
I'm going to go with 1.
A button factory. Jim.
I think 2 just on how you said it.
2 leather boots. And Diego.
Hat making.
And Diego would be right. I made up the rest.
He's kicking butt.
Good job. All right, here's another one. The Dead Red Law. Have you heard of this? The Dead Red Law.
No, that sounds scary.
Officially is designated IC 9-21-3-7B-3. Says you can treat a stoplight as if it were a stop sign. Motorcyclists only have to stop for 120 seconds at a red stoplight, then proceed through the intersection cautiously. Which state made this a law in 2015? 1. New York. 2. Indiana. Or 3. Florida. All right. Let's go with Emma this time.
Sounds like a Midwest thing. Indiana.
Okay. And let's go Bagel.
Number 1.
New York. How about Diego?
1.
New York. Jim.
1 otra vez. Yeah.
New York. And Lila?
Florida.
Florida. Who said Indiana?
Me.
That is correct.
Really? But all good ideas come out of Florida. How could that be?
That's what I was
I know.
Full
All right.
motorcycle idea.
Florida
You never
man,
know in
Florida
Are you-
man is
never know.
crushed.
All right. Who has no points?
I think we've all got a
I
point.
have 2.
You have 2 points?
Two.
I
for
have.
Bagel?
I don't think I have any.
Diego, how many
I got
points do you have?
I got
2?
2.
I forget.
I
Well, I
have
think you had one.
Orion
Maybe
Hog.
one.
You
1,000
had one.
points.
3,000 points? Okay. It's a close game. You guys ready?
Oui.
In 1887, Yamaha.
No,
oh, wait.
you-
No, I read that one. Sorry.
Yes.
Going to the second page. Okay. I hate these names. Company founder Michio Suzuki
Yes.
wanted to diversify his company and began an engineering firm that started making small cars and engines during the 1930s.
Yes.
In fact, the first Suzuki motorcycle appeared in 1952 and was a motorized bicycle called the Power Free.
Yes.
Had a 2-stroke 36cc engine. What product did they originally make?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
Number 1, weaving looms. Number 2, a pulmonary resuscitation machine. Or number 3, chef's knives and cooking pots. Lila, we're going to start with you.
Can you repeat the first one?
Weaving looms, pulmonary resuscitation machine, or chef's knives and cooking pots.
2.
2, pulmonary resuscitation machine. Jim, you want to take a shot at this?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention in the first part, but pulmonary resuscitation sounds like suck, press, bang, blow. So I'm going to go with number 2.
All right. Diego?
Knives.
Chef's knives, cooking pots. Bagel?
Number 1.
Weaving looms. And Emma?
Yeah, it's number 1.
That is correct. It's weaving looms. I made up the others.
Well done.
Thank you. In fact, I was quite surprised to find that there was a pulmonary resuscitation machine made in 1908. Yeah, they existed then.
Did it work?
Wow.
Yeah. All right, here's one. This is a gimme for some of you, and for some it may not be. So let's find out.
Tra-la-la.
Peter Fonda wore the Captain America jacket and rode the Captain America chopper for a week around Los Angeles before shooting began on the movie Easy Rider so that he could give them a broken-in look and to get used to riding the radically designed bike. In fact, the design on the back of the jacket and on the gas tank in the bike caused him to be pulled over several times by the police. What was that design? Was it A, a naked pinup girl? 1. 2, the letters FTP, which stand for fuck the police. Or 3, an American flag. Jim, let's start with you.
America, son. 3.
Number 3. All right. Lila.
Yeah, America.
All right. Emma.
As only an English woman can guess. Number 3.
All right. Diego.
Flag.
And Bagel.
Number 3, America.
That is correct. I found that
Fuck yeah.
fascinating. That got him pulled over by the police.
Because they thought it was cool. They're like, dude, that's so cool.
No, I think it was
That's why cops
considered
always pull you
disrespectful
over.
then.
Yeah, I know. Just
Right.
Isn't that
Violation
fascinating?
of the flag code.
I know. That was a gimme. I just thought it was really cool. Okay. Aside from making motorcycles, Kawasaki also manufactures many other products. Which of the following do they not make? 1. Vending machines. 2. Power tools. 3. Helicopters. Let's start with Diego on this one. Which one of those do they not make?
Choppers.
Helicopters?
Mhm.
Okay. Lila?
Vending machines.
Vending machines. Jim?
vending machines.
All right. Emma?
I know they make helicopters because they do a version of the Boeing Vertol. Vending machines. What was the...
Vending machines, power tools, or helicopters?
I'm going to go for the power tools.
Power tools. Bagel, did I go to you yet?
I'm going with vending machines.
Vending machines. The answer is they also make, in addition to motorcycles, personal watercraft, ships, electronics, construction equipment, tractors, trains, jet engines, missiles, and space rockets. They do not make vending machines.
Mm.
There
Wow.
you go.
You got two.
All right.
All right, one more. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, there's two more. All right. Honda motorcycles in California were the most stolen motorcycle in 2011. Let's see. Okay. Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki were the top 4 brands of motorcycles stolen in California. What was the number 5 brand? Was it 1? Was it Ducati? Was it 2? Was it BMW? Or was it 3? Harley Davidson.
Oh,
All right, let's go with them on this one.
I'll go 3.
Harley Davidson. Lila?
BMW.
BMW. Jim?
I'm going to try Diego's thing. I'm going 1.
Ducati. All right, Bagel.
I'm going to go with Harley.
Harley. All right, and let's see. Diego.
Harley.
Harley was number 5. All right, this next one, this is the last one. And this one uses an audio clue. Oh, that sounds terrible. All right, well, we'll try and get through it. Sorry about the buzz. All right, so this next one has an audio clue. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Star Trek movies.
No.
Right? So the sound made by the motorcycle that Chris Pine rides to the shuttle departing the Starfleet. Remember, he plays the young Captain Kirk and he's heading off Starfleet. They used a sound effect, and you have to guess what this sound effect had been previously used for. So here's the sound. It's like this levitating thing. You need to hear it again? Here.
Sure.
Sounds great in the headphones.
Okay, so here's the question. That sound effect that they used in the movie, was it also used, 1, as the Jetsons' car, 2, the Millennium Falcon hyperdrive, or 3, the Green Goblin's Goblin Glider from Spider-Man 1? All right, Bagel, what do you think that sound effect was used for?
Oh, man.
Because, they reuse a lot of sounds and they can...
What was number 2?
And they modify them.
So it's either the Jetsons, the Millennium
right.
Falcon, or the Green Goblin's Glider.
I'm gonna go with the Jetsons.
Jetsons, okay. Emma, what say you?
I didn't recognize it as the Jetsons. And it sounds too clunky to be the Millennium Falcon. So I'm going to go for the Green Goblin.
All right, Lila?
The last one.
The Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
All right, Jim?
I'm gonna go Jetsons.
Jetsons, okay. Diego?
Jetsons.
And did I get Bagel? Did I get you? Yeah, I started with you.
Yeah.
All right. And just as a reminder, that is the Jetsons car.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
George
isn't that
Jetson.
cool?
Are you sure
Slightly
about
modified
that?
version, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's modified, but yeah.
And that is our trivia game. So who won?
Nice.
How many points did you get, Bagel?
I think
I got
Diego won.
7.
7. Diego, how many did you get?
5.
Really?
Jim?
Oh, I got like 3.
Emma?
Same here.
7,821.
I'm going to say that Bagel is the winner.
Bagel is
well done.
Woo!
Bagel is the winner
Cracked it.
in everything that he enters. Well done, Bagel.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That was fun. So, I wanted to get real quick. Let's see. Let me see how much time you have, Emma. Can you do it in 15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. I asked Emma to do a history hole.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Ah!
And hopefully, if you are a member of the AMA, like many of us are, you get the AMA magazine. And on the cover of the magazine, the cover story was two-stroke superbikes of the 70s.
Ah, yes.
And I thought, that'd be great. They covered a lot of them there, but we have Miss Emma, who knows even more. So,
Well, I
Emma,
was-
and this is really in
I
your
was
wheelhouse.
there.
I mean, there were
The
some
unwritables.
bikes that even today puts fear in a lot of us. Like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to try that.
And some of it's real and some of it's display. So,
And this also counterbalances that we talked about electric bikes.
right.
we're now
Totally
we're
right.
evening it out with two strokes of the 70s.
So, let's do a little history hole, shall we?
Yes, yes.
Because it's been a while. So, let's entitle this one Two-Stroke Superbikes of the 70s.
I like that.
Creative.
And I want to make something clear before we start. I mean, everybody thinks there was this just massive shift. These bikes burst onto the scene and everyone just peed the pants and went, oh, these things are great.
It was just you, though.
But it actually wasn't like that. It was kind of developed. And we'll deal with that. So we're going to go back to the 1960s. And in the 1960s, the British manufacturers dominated pretty much everything. Even the lightweight bikes. If you wanted a small bike, you bought a Triumph Tiger Curb or a BSA Bantam. And, the Germans made some very, very nice little bikes as well, DKWs. But the majority of volume production bikes were English. And the majority of them were four-strokes. Now, the Japanese manufacturers were eager to have a slice of that pie. And they thought, okay, if we make a simple bike at an affordable price point, but is as high performing, if not more so than the English offering, we're going to be onto a winner. So it's no surprise that all the manufacturers, with the exception of Honda, had two-stroke bikes. What's the advantage of a two-stroke? Well, a two-stroke produces power twice as often as a four-stroke.
Hold on. Lila is new to two strokes, so give her the elevator pitch of what a two-stroke is.
So, what a two-stroke is, it's a machine that completes its combustion cycle in two strokes of the piston, down and up. And that's a complete cycle. That involves induction, compression, combustion, and exhaust, just by the piston going up and down. A four-stroke requires four strokes of the piston to do it. Induction is one. Compression is another.
Thank you, Bagel, for the visual aid.
Explosion, ignition, and then exhaust. So theoretically...
It's in German.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Lila, Bagel's giving you a visual aid.
So two strokes...
Thank you, Bagel.
You're welcome. I just happen to have this sitting in my garage.
are very, very easy to make good power from a smaller capacity. But hang on, there are disadvantages with it. The engines need external lubrication, and because they need external lubrication, they can be a little bit dirty. There's always a cloud of blue smoke behind them because they run on total loss oil systems. And they're not the most economical. If you were to take a 250cc 4-stroke, it may do 45-50 to the gallon. 2-stroke will do maybe 30, especially if you give it the beans. So anyway, during the mid to late 60s, there were just gazillions of Japanese 2-stroke, mostly twin-cylinder bikes that made good power, were fun as hell to ride, and very economical, and were relatively high performers. Now, the AMA magazine pointed to the Kawasaki Mach 3 500 as really the first superbike, and that was introduced in 1969. But I don't actually agree with that. I think if we really want to talk about the first superbike, 2-stroke superbike, we need to go back 2 more years. And in 1967, quite a famous tyre manufacturer, but not quite so famous motorcycle manufacturer called Bridgestone, introduced a bike called the 350 GTR. And the 350 GTR was interesting in a number of ways. It was a 350 twin-cylinder 2-stroke bike, but it could outperform a British 650. It was quite expensive, and it was a very exclusive bike from when it was new. And I would argue that is the first 2-stroke superbike. The price point kept it out of the reach of a lot of people. So now, yes.
You know what that bike kind of reminds me of? The new Royal Enfield Meteor. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that, you know?
It didn't perform like one.
It doesn't look like a sport bike.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember, this is 1967. So if we regard that as the first, let's move on 2 years to the Mach 3 500. So the Mach 3 500, let's talk about what it was. It was a 3-cylinder bike in a field of 2-cylinder bikes. The Honda 754 hadn't been introduced just yet. Triumph had already introduced the Trident, so that was a 3-cylinder bike, but it was a 4-stroke. The Mach 3 500, 2-stroke, 3 cylinders, 70 horsepower, and the power. One of the characteristics of a 2-stroke is they tend to be rather gutless at lower speed, and then they become efficient at a very, very specific point in the rev range, usually higher up in the revs. And in the case of the Mach 3, the power came in all at once at about 5,000 RPM. This made for quite an interesting riding technique, because if you were inexperienced, you got on this thing, opened the throttle and thought, well, this thing's quite gutless. And then you kept the throttle pinned, and then suddenly the tack hit 5,000, and then off you went. It was like being shot out of a gun. If you add to that, chassis and braking technology in the 60s wasn't great, and this thing was built to a lightweight specification, it was really quite an entertaining bike to ride. I've ridden many of them. They're always terrifying. They're always fun. It's a very, very visceral bike to ride. It shakes, it rattles, it's noisy. It has no brakes, and I mean no brakes. The handling is truly frightening, but it gives you an impression of speed like no other. And for a while, certainly in California, it absolutely ruled the drag strips, because you could toddle off down to the Kawasaki dealer, and for less than $1,000, you could buy a machine that could blow off the mightiest V8 in the quarter mile. I mean, this is great. This is a performance for everyone. And that really set the ground rule for the superbikes. So although the Bridgestone was first, the Kawasaki, I guess, was the beginning of what we envisage as a superbike. In 1972, Kawasaki actually added a 750 to it. And you're going to say, well, hang on, if the 500 was fast, the 750 was a lot faster. And in truth, it kind of wasn't. It was a quick bike, but it was actually a lot more refined. It had more torque than the 500. It had a lot better braking than the 500, and the frame had a chance to be developed, so it was a lot more pleasant bike to ride. And at the time, Kawasaki were very, very eager to have some kind of corporate image. You see, they had the Z1 in 73, which was the 900 four-stroke four-cylinder, but they were eager to have a range of bikes and have this very, very singular image. So they had this range of two-stroke, three-cylinder machines. The smallest of one was the 250, which was the S1, 350 S2. Later it became the S3 400, then the H1, which was the 500, and that really went from 69 all the way through to 75. It went through H1, H1A, B, C, D, E, F, and then ended as the KH500. And then, of course, the H2s. The H2A was the first, and then it went through the D. That's just Kawasaki. Now, Honda stayed with the four-strokes. Yes.
I have a question. Were there any Italian two-strokes?
Oh, yeah.
Superbikes?
Well, no, hang on. Not really. Italy were far more interested in a smaller capacity. Benelli had a very, very nice two-stroke twin, which made very, very good power.
When it went by, would you hear this?
Dagli fagioli.
Exactly. Give it the beans.
I thought that was like Mario Brothers or whatever.
Dagli fagioli.
But what's very, very interesting is Honda were committed to four-stroke. So we're not going to talk about Honda right now. There is a postscript involving Honda. Kawasaki went all in. Suzuki went all in, but in a slightly different tangent. Yamaha were quite happy with their two-strokes, but in terms of what they thought a two-stroke should be, they kept them below 350. And eventually the 350 became a 400, but that was it, aside from a glorious postscript, which again we're going to talk about. So really I'm going to concentrate on Kawasaki's and Suzuki's, because these were the true big superbikes. Suzuki were already a very established brand, and they were also keen to have this very, very singular corporate image. So they also chose three-cylinder bikes. They also had a range of twins, but the three-cylinder bikes are really the super bikes. What they did was, rather than compete with Kawasaki, they said, look, we're going to make these bikes a little larger, we're going to rubber mount the engines so they're a little more pleasant to ride, soften up the power curves a little bit, and make a touring bike, a grand touring bike, the GT range.
Now, they're still making four-strokes throughout this whole time, right? Two-stroke was just another option being offered like they do with dirt bikes?
Not by Suzuki, not... The only four-stroke that Kawasaki was making at this time was the Z1, the Superbike.
So they did put all their eggs in one basket with a two-stroke.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. For a long, long time, Suzuki only did two-strokes. Kawasaki just had the Z1, then they added the KZ650, and then, of course, everything went to four-strokes. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The Suzuki range was in two cylinders. They had the 125 twin, the 185 twin, the 250 twin. The 350 twin was what in reality was the 305. The 500 twin, but the triples were the interesting ones. 350, 550, and the 750 which had the benefit of water cooling, which made it all the more exotic. Now,
Is that like the water buffalo?
that is indeed the water buffalo.
Right? Iconic, yeah.
Oh, I love that thing.
Yeah.
And so everyone, all the old boys listening now will say, oh, yeah, the H2 was a far faster machine. The reality was thus, it was, but not as much as you think. There's a very, very famous cycle magazine road test from 1974 with a GT750M and an H2B, I think. And they are so similar in performance. The Kawasaki's like a quarter of a second quicker on the quarter mile. The Suzuki is maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour slower in top speed. They're very, very close. So really, they were alongside one another. What killed them off? It was very, very simple. Emissions.
Ralph Nader. Oh, no. What?
Well, you could argue. You know, the fuel crisis of 73 was really a wake-up call for everyone.
Yeah.
Detroit realized it couldn't make 8-liter V8s anymore, and it really needed to get its act together.
Was there ever an American-made two-stroke?
Oh, yeah. Usually
the
under
meat
like,
companies that came and went. That kind
right,
of stuff?
exactly.
Oh, it might have been something small, like an Allstate or something.
Right, exactly.
Okay, got it.
And the America got together with a company called OSA and made the 500 Twin Yankee.
Spanish?
Yes.
Yes.
Very nice bike. But, you know, and the motorcycle manufacturers realized that the two-stroke days were numbered. So really, 76 and 77 were the last halcyon years for the two-strokes. From that point forward, they were done. Now, not quite, because there's a little postscript to this, and I'd like to talk about this when I have a little more time. But in the 80s, in the mid-80s, two-strokes made a glorious comeback. Just really as a postscript for pure performance. And
Is this like the GP bikes?
no, these were street bikes.
Okay.
And Yamaha brought out the RD500 LC, which was a V4 two-stroke, 100 horsepower. And Suzuki brought out, really, in my opinion, the finest two-stroke street bike ever made, which was the RG500, which was a square 4 two-stroke, and again, 100 horsepower. When you compare the RG and the RD, the RG's definitely the more modern bike of the two, but it's just like a final postscript. And Honda, our staunch 4-stroke friends, thought they'd get in the act too, and did the NSR 400.
Right. And I was going to say, my favorite two-stroke motorcycles are scooters. Dude, do you see those those videos of dudes just railing on these two-strokes and just like, wah!
Yeah.
Oh.
Which ones?
Well,
there's like the dude on a Lambretta who just blasts past everyone. I love that.
so
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's some super fast Lambrettas out there.
Yeah.
had I not been sitting on the internet this morning, this is where the story would have ended, with this little postscript in the 80s. But here I am on Motor Trend this morning, and I hear that Mazda, in order to
Mazda.
get the final development out of internal combustion engines, have a two-stroke on the drawing board right now.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I guess if
Which
they
they're
can
gonna
get it to
use-
pass EPA, that's all that
which-
matters.
Well,
Fuel
no,
injected, I assume.
So what they've done with this two-stroke, it actually has valves, but it has valves within the porting system to make it more efficient. And with fuel injection, with variable timing, and the valves, it's as efficient as any 4-stroke. It makes really good power.
Very cool.
And they're using it as part of a hybrid propulsion system. So I guess two-strokes may be making a
That's
comeback.
fascinating.
Very
But as
interesting.
someone who actually rode these things in the 70s, I mean, there was absolutely nothing as glorious as riding a big, two-stroke on the street. It's an experience like none other.
Okay, I have a quick game for everyone in the room. So we're surrounded by hundreds of toy motorcycles. First one to find a two-stroke wins. All right, because I've been looking around. I've been looking around. And I think I found a couple. So let's see. Lila's looking. She has no idea what she's looking for. This one? Nope. What's that? What? Oh wait, is that a two-stroke? Did she find one? Is it?
Yeah, it's a 125.
That's a Mako.
She found a Mako.
Well done.
Wow, Lila, you won.
You had no faith, Liza.
None.
You win a free
whatsoever.
t-shirt.
None
Because I'm
all.
looking up there. It looks like there's an FZ or an up here.
No.
You'd
the
be
yellow
surprised.
one.
I'm
No.
from the woods in Vermont where we only have two strokes.
But remember,
Putting around.
we're talking about street bikes. Right now,
Yeah.
you can walk into a KTM dealer, buy a two-stroke. You can walk into a Yamaha dealer, buy a two-stroke.
Wait, is that a two? Is that a KLR?
Yes.
That is not a two-stroke.
Oh, it's a 6.
Yeah, you got
So,
lucky. You could have picked up that Lambretta right there too.
but two-stroke,
Didn't.
two-stroke street bikes, especially big two-stroke
I
street
won
bikes.
that game.
There's nothing that
Fair and
sounded
square.
like them, nothing that smelt like them. It was a unique riding experience.
Well, thank you very much, Emma.
That was great. Now I want to go to Arma. I want to go to Arma racing
know,
at Laguna
right?
Seca now.
I
Just
know.
huff all that two-stroke.
Jim, have you ridden a two-stroke? You have yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you tried
Yeah,
the dirt bike?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, they're a blast.
They are. It's a very
Wow,
just a totally
just-
different experience.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
I want to Bagel, get me a two-stroke scooter sometime. I want to try it.
You let me know if you're ready. I will find you one.
I did. They just look
I'll
like
find you a vintage Vespa. You will love
blast.
it.
Quick announcement. So, well, you guys can't see Bagel. You can see what we're wearing here in the
Got new
studio.
shirts.
We're wearing our
Nice.
brand new T-shirts that I announced last week that they were in, and I took 2 days off from work. I hope my boss is
When I
listening.
saw all those shirts you got to mail,
Did you see how many are left? I
Dude.
mailed out. It took 2 work days off.
that was a lot of shirts.
To mail out shirts. So,
Wow.
and some people started getting them already. So,
Sweet.
if you're a Patreon subscriber at $5 or more a month, you will get one. I still have some extras. So, if you want to get in on this and get one of these fancy shirts that you can't see, but I am sporting right now, just become a Patreon subscriber, $5 or more. It's that simple. Emma,
Hello.
your trip has been quite popular. In fact, I have a couple emails which will then get to information about your trip.
Okay, very
How
good.
about that? The first one is from Joshua. He says,
Joshua.
"Hey there, I heard about the Misfits Italy trip and was wondering where I could find more information on it. I checked out Kat's website, but didn't see any tours that fit the description. I'd like a little help here. Seems like it'd be an absolute blast." So the first answer is the last 2 shows, I think, and this one. I'm putting it in our show notes, the link directly in our show notes.
Yeah, you probably just email Kat too. Just email him. At his
Because
website.
it's not one of Kat's regular tours, so he did not put it
It's
up.
not an advertised tour.
Right. This is kind of a Misfits deal.
Special.
If you're listening, the website is wetravel.com/trips/Dolomites, I think. Does that sound right? I don't know. I'm doing things on my phone that I can't see. But I put the link in the show notes. That's where you can find it. And I guess I'll throw another link up on our Facebook page too. And then we have a second one. Emma, I need you to pay attention now.
I am paying attention.
This one is from our friend Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Oh yeah, I saw his name. He's getting a shirt. He says, "Hey everyone, myself and my buddy Brandon have both signed up for the Emma experience.
Oh, good-o.
I'm stoked to meet the Misfits that are going and to go ride out there. It has been a dream of mine for quite some time. I've been to Germany a few times and Italy once, but I have not had the opportunity to ride. Just a thought for topic discussion. What are some things that can be done to train or prep for riding the Alps? For example, he lives in Central Florida where it's mostly flat. Any ideas for some training that can be done to help get up stamina and sharpen skills? Maybe this will help persuade some others to sign up who may be hesitant. He says, I myself have started by finding a local Triumph dealer with BMW F900R in their showroom. I was able to at least go physically see the bike and gather some info. In fact, last night when I was at BMW, it was the first time I've actually seen one. They're pretty decent bikes. So how does somebody in Florida where it's flat prepare for a trip? I have an answer. First, you want to go get a shopping cart and fill it up with watermelons at your local supermarket. Then you want to start running up and down the aisles and take those turns as fast as you can. Watch out for other people walking around with the carts. Try not to hit the other carts. This will build up your stamina and your arm strength.
God.
That's the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard.
Hey, what's up, Nog?
Hey.
Can't you just watch The Sound of Music?
No, you have a better idea?
On a serious note, what is going to catch him out is the bike running away with him going downhill. So what you need to understand and practice is the effect of shifting down and actually using the engine as a brake, because you cannot ride the brakes. We're going to be going down grades that last 4 miles.
Are we
And
talking?
if you're braking, you're going to fry the brakes. You can't do that. So you have to understand that when you're going down a twisty road that's downhill for 10 miles, you have to use the engine as a brake.
Yep.
You have to, because you just can't do it. Now, it's going to be hard to practice that in Florida, but you can shift up and down through the box and figure out when you let the clutch out in third and just keep it on a dead throttle, how it actually affects the bike.
Okay, I think I can handle this. For the supermarket scenario where you're practicing, you want to hop up on the shopping cart like we do.
Yes.
And put one of your feet on the wheel and press slowly on the wheel to add friction.
Well, that is actually braking, Liza.
Yes.
I was going to say he should just ride to Tennessee.
Is that what,
Right
is that
around
what's called,
Tennessee and then ride home.
is that what you call counter steering?
Yeah. However,
The old watermelon trick,
Meat
huh?
counter.
I had a very, very long talk with Mr. McLeod yesterday, and, you know, he is going to be every inch the instructor, as am I. We're not going to let anybody get out of their depth. Ride within your ability, and understand you are on mountain roads. It's not a beginner's trip. If you just started riding motorcycles a week ago, it's not the trip for you. But it's going to be a wonderful experience. It's going to be an easy experience. And I wanted to share a couple of items of news.
Oh, okay.
So,
Good one.
the threshold for the trip actually taking place was 10 people signed up. We now have 11.
Wow.
So,
You guys are stacked.
It's happening.
Hell
there
yeah.
are places available. The ideal number is 15. We can pad it to 18. But the more people that are signed up for the trip, the harder Cat has to work. If we make it to 18, we might introduce another instructor on the trip.
Split it in two.
So if you want to be ordered around by a German motorcycle policeman, this is your trip. But sign up. If you're on the fence, sign up now. Because theoretically, there's only 3 spots left. We could push it out to 7. It's going to be a brilliant trip. And between me and Kat, we're going to... The ideal scenario for this trip is if we teach you well enough that you don't need either of us next year. You can do it on your own. All the clues are going to be there. If you can get on a plane and get to Germany, you'll be able to do it yourself. So, tra-la-la.
And just remember,
Dagli i fagioli.
Give it the beans.
and when you have too many beans,
You were Working hard.
You
That's
might
great.
just sound like that.
That is
No,
great.
Liza.
What? I don't get it.
When you have too many beans,
Oh my.
Oh God. Here.
All right, we got time for a couple more
Wrap it up.
emails. Emma, you got one there.
I do indeed.
Yes. So that first part is the last part, but you can read the first part if you want.
Can I read the first part?
Yes, it is.
This is all in capital letters.
Yes,
I,
it is.
Should I yell? I'd give the beans to Knock any day. I love you. I love you,
Right.
Knock.
I
love
came
it.
at the right time.
Yeah, because we said let's come up with something better to say. I like that. I'd give the beans to Knock.
This is
Is that like
this is from Christopher.
nice? Thank
so
you, Christopher.
I recommend you take your trousers off now. Knock.
Is that like is that Mike's version of or my version of Mike's version of "Don't look at me when I'm inside of you"?
I think so. So, ciao, Liza and friends. Ciao, Liza and friends.
Ciao.
I got my hands on a 1988 Super Magma model, only made 2 years.
I want to
beautiful...
say they're cool bikes, but they're kind of ugly. But they're great bikes.
No, they're not.
I think they're kind of ugly, but they're great bikes.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, no,
Do you know what we call them in England? The grenade launchers.
Why are they called the grenade
wait,
launcher?
Side note. Did you see who sent me? Somebody sent me a cool video this week.
Yeah,
Was that
the
you?
tubes.
That's
I
going
didn't see
around
that
on
one.
YouTube in Ukraine.
The motorcycle
Yes.
hauling the
See
mortar.
the motorcycle guys who stole the mortar launcher
Oh, in the sidecar.
and the sidecar, and they're
God.
If I'm
laughing
not
as they're
mistaken,
going down the freeway.
I believe that is the Dnieper motorcycle.
Ah,
Yep.
okay.
Neat
All right.
enough.
Go ahead.
So anyway, we were talking about his Super Magna.
Yeah.
I'm psyched, and I plan to have this as my road bike until my midlife crisis years, when God knows what I'll be after. Just turns 34, so she will be with me for a while. Okay, very good.
Perfect.
I'm going to sell my Wish I Was a Sport Bike Yamaha FZ6R in the spring and switch it out with a small dual sport, so I can get into the dirt world as a second bike and still take dirt bike to my elementary teaching job. Probably an XT 250 because I ain't that tall. Very good.
Yeah, Lila learned about that too.
My question
Oh, boy, did
is, how can I make my vintage Magma as close to reliable as my FZ6R? The only hesitation I have for selling is its reliability. I'm willing to trade the inline 4 with a super badass comfy V4. Any top tips? I have the carbs pulled and cleaned and new boots ready and a very reliable rebuild kit. I will be bleeding the clutch on the front brake and probably getting braided lines, changing brake pads, oil and shaft oil change, flush refill radiator. I'll be looking for a USA to replace the battery. He loves me too.
Wait, what year is that bike?
88.
Oh, so charging system, electrical system.
What else should I absolutely do? Have fun on all your trips coming up, Chris from Connecticut.
So can I say, don't sell the FC6R?
Not quite yet.
I mean, these are great bikes and can go forever, but a bike of that age as a reliable everyday bike is a little big of an ask compared to the FC6R, which is capable and fun. You can tour, you can be sporty, you can commute, you can do everything on that.
So here's a couple of top tips for Christopher.
All right.
His last name's Vichy.
What?
V-E-C-E.
Vichyssoise.
Vichyssoise.
Avec moi.
Oil is everything. Use a good quality oil. Change it often. Keep on top of the plugs. I mean, the thing is with these bikes, just keep on top of them. Mm-hmm. The maintenance schedule for older bikes was very different for modern bikes. So keep on top of the oil, understand the maintenance schedule, follow the maintenance schedule, learn to say schedule properly, like aluminium.
Properly.
And sell your FC6R. Sell it.
I would say
to me.
do some research on getting a regulator rectifier and maybe think about the charging.
No,
system.
but he's
It's just
putting a USer in it. The only
Do
reason
you think
that-
it's the battery? Or
Oh,
is it-
absolutely.
I don't know. Those things are kind of shitty. You got Reg Rex, man. They're like little tiny little square, tiny.
No, it's a
Helios.
big Reg Rex.
Is it with the
big
fins?
one.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's a big
is it a
finned one.
MOSFET one, or is it like the diode one with the tiny
No,
small
it's
box?
the big one.
Okay, because my Super Hawks, I almost had a small one. That thing sucked, man.
Yeah, but it's different generation. Your Super Hawk's like a 99. This is an 88.
Oh, so they probably had giant big old fins on them.
No, I mean, there's no reason. What he failed to say was how many miles are on this beast.
Yeah, that's a muscle cruiser. It's a great engine.
How many cc's is it, dude?
700 probably.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's an 88. It's one of the
Those engines were also used in which bike?
the Interceptor
That's it, the Interceptor. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great engine.
and the Sabre.
Oh yeah. Okay. What's Homeboy had a Sabre here?
Yeah.
The British kid who lives in Oakland.
Well, that dude had the Interceptor here today too.
The
What's his
V4.
name?
You're talking
Yeah.
about Eason?
No.
He had one for a minute.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're great engines, and this is a good-looking bike. Yes.
All right. Well,
All
there you
right.
go.
Let me see that SMX. Can you just hand that over?
All right,
Yeah.
and Bagel, you've
Yeah.
got one. It was really
do.
long and really nice. We just need the shortened version.
Well, I'm going to try my best.
Just really
so-
short.
So this is from Zach Cyphers. Zach writes, "Hey Misfits,
Hey, Zach.
I'm a
Zach.
I'm a street and adventure rider up in Seattle. Although I'm originally from Pittsburgh, PA. If any of you manage a convincing Pittsburgh accent, I'll be really impressed."
That's pretty good, Bagel.
Well, Zach, I'm a Philly boy, so that might be the best I can do, but I'm going to do my best. I've been listening and lurking for a few weeks and decided to write in, be part of the fun. I'm a teacher and self-taught shade tree mechanic and now teach evening moto maintenance classes at a DIY shop called Upshift Collective.
Cool.
I learned to wrench on a Triumph Spitfire car
Oh, yeah.
and now know enough to confidently work on my Triumph Scrambler.
Yes.
I love putting you guys on in the garage while I'm working on my current project, a Resto Mod 1978 Honda CB400T. First, some compliments, then my ancient biker wisdom.
Yeah.
Liza, I really appreciate the work you put into giving the podcast structure.
Thank
The
you.
show has the tone and feel of a group of good friends gathering to talk about motorbikes, but the games, topics, and theme segments keep it on track and make
Yeah.
it easy to listen to.
It's called acting.
I think this is an underappreciated part of podcast production, and it wouldn't be as good without this backbone.
Thanks.
Emma's encyclopedic knowledge of bikes of every mark and model is simply superhuman.
It is.
Her ability to rattle off what your BSA changed its fender mandibles from knurled to the cruciform configuration or the exact number of
Fender
Chevy per
mandibles.
gallon
Oh my god.
one can expect from a 1957 carbureted Moto Giblet is truly astounding.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to excuse myself.
It's a wealth of knowledge that reveals countless hours working on bikes of all kinds. The fact that you include scooters too, Bagel, hi neighbor, shows a love of all
great.
two-wheeled machines. My first ever two-wheeled motor vehicle was a 50cc Zongshan scooter.
Nice.
It was an unreliable, slow, cheap assemblage of plastic parts, but I loved it.
Aw.
I give scooters the wave even when I'm out on the Triumph because we're all out on the same thrill, all out for the same thrill, and we all have to start somewhere.
He likes us. He really likes us.
Yeah.
Aw.
Now, for my ancient biker wisdom.
Yes.
Number one, get to know your torque wrench.
True.
Number two, be proactive.
Yeah.
Maintenance is cheaper and safer in the long run than waiting until things break to fix them.
Yep.
Number three, more valuable than any slip-on exhaust or sexy piece of gear is an investment in your rider training.
Yep.
Number four, the second most valuable investment you can make in the purchase of is the purchase of the shop manual for your bike.
Yes.
Number five, once you get the manual, learn basic maintenance, know how to take the wheels off, how to change the oil and fluids, and maintain your brakes.
Yes.
It will save you money, help you get to know your bike better, and give you the confidence to handle any unexpected situations or repairs as they come up. Number 6, take seller claims with a grain of salt. When buying a used bike, it's a good idea to do all the basic service so that you can reset the clock and then follow the manufacturer service schedule from there.
Yeah.
Number 7, don't go halvesies on a bike with a friend. Period.
Yeah.
Number 8, ride your own ride.
Yep.
Don't ever feel pressured to go faster or lean farther than you're comfortable with just because someone in your group is riding fast.
Lila, did
Don't
you catch
feel
that?
bad. Don't feel bad about hanging back and letting the speed demons go on ahead if you're riding at speed that is safe and enjoyable for you.
Yes.
Ride within your skill level until you build the confidence to push your limits.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, pushing your limits occasionally can lead to growth. Don't let anyone tell you a bike is too big or too heavy or a particular style of riding is wrong for you in some way. Learn to ride the way you want and ride the machine that ignites your passion. Number 10, if you're not allowed to get another bike, sneak it into the house Johnny Cash style, one piece at a time. If I had told my girlfriend that I wanted to go out and simply buy another bike, she would have protested. It's a good thing my girlfriend doesn't listen to this podcast. She's an equestrian, and we have an ongoing debate about whose sport is more dangerous. Perhaps you misfits can weigh in on that debate if anyone has experience with horses.
Horses. Absolutely horses.
Okay, this email is long enough. Keep doing what you do, and thanks for the entertaining and enlightening Moto Talk. You can find me at Motorcycle Librarian on Instagram if you like.
Cool. Thank you.
And Zach lists his bikes: a 2019 Triumph Scrambler 200XE,
Cool.
Nice.
a 2016 Honda CRF 250 Rally,
Yep.
and a 1978 Honda CB400T.
Nice.
Man's
Just
got it
need
all
to add
covered.
a scooter now.
On the subject of horses,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure whether they're more dangerous than motorbikes, but they're a damn sight more expensive. So
Yeah.
for every dollar he's spending on his motorcycle habit, his girlfriend's spending 4 to 5.
Yeah, apparently equestrianism, there's like higher injury of just people falling off the horses.
Well, it's a long way down.
Yeah.
Motorcyclists
can-
might be crazy, but horse people
That's
are
a big
really
one.
crazy.
Can I just say that I used to ride horses when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and I had a horse when I was riding at a full canter, came to an abrupt stop, threw me right over his head, and I flipped over him backwards, landed on my back, knocked the wind out of me, and I haven't ridden horses since.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
always
very,
get back on the
very
horse.
dangerous.
Always get back on the
Because
horse.
I can
rode
control
growing
a
up as
bike.
well.
Yeah, I can control a bike. You can only do so much to control a horse.
They get spooked easily too.
Yes.
It's always fun when they get stung
Yes.
by a bee while you're riding and
Oh yeah.
don't have a lot to hang on to. You know, it's just
That doesn't sound
it's you,
fun.
the reins, and the mane,
And
Yeah.
and I-
Whatever
Calm
else
the
you can
horse
latch
down.
on to.
and your thighs, I guess.
And I
But,
wanted
like,
to
good
add
luck.
the technique that I am currently using because I will soon be a owner of a motorcycle in a third state.
Oh, I thought you were going to buy a
Oh,
horse.
No, put them
Really?
in different states.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to be you,
Strategic.
Liza.
No, I'm buying a bike from Phil at Cleveland Moto to keep in Cleveland for.
Nice.
Are you getting one of them small TNT jobbies?
I'm getting one of the TNTs with knobblies on it.
Oh my God,
All
that's
right.
right. You didn't get it the last time because they didn't have it.
I know, so I pre-ordered it.
Amazing.
Exactly. Well, yeah, thank you very much
Ridiculous.
for sending that in. Hey, and big thanks to all of our Patreon subscribers. Keep an eye out for those shirts. They are coming. Knock, I got to grab one for you. You like it?
Yeah, I like the
know, I
blue.
know.
Oh, they're great.
Very nice.
I'm into it.
I know we're winding up,
Yes.
and I'm going to be very, very quick.
Okay.
I have some massive news to
Okay.
share.
Ooh. Wait, did you get your toenails done?
I did.
Okay.
In a very nice red. We're going back to the One Show.
Yeah.
So,
Heavy,
Forgot about
coming
that.
heavy.
as of right now, Michael McCarthy is in with his Sportster.
It's
Sick.
cool.
Nice.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
in with
bro.
the Trident.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait. Nice.
Mike Miranda is in with all 3.
Yeah.
Really?
Ooh,
So,
nice.
He's got his own little wing, I guess.
Yeah.
He does.
We've got 5 bikes showing at the One. This is massive.
Mm-hmm.
So make your plans. I want to meet as many people at the one show as we can. We're going to play a game just like we have done in previous years. We'll come up with something, maybe involving Knock. We're all going to go up en masse. We're going to get an Airbnb like we always do. So there's going to be plenty of misfits, plenty of misfit bikes, plenty of shenanigans. It's going to be great.
Are you flying up there? Or
No,
driving?
I'm driving up with the
They're
Trident.
driving.
I thought you. I figured like you just cram it on Mike's trailer and haul
No,
up there.
we might go up in convoy, but
Yeah.
my grand plan, because we have so many bikes showing, if we actually arrive at the Zidell yards together, even if we don't actually travel together, we can occupy our own little area
Yeah.
of the Zidell,
So-
so it can be like Misfit Corner.
So, Jim, you coming?
They could be chairs.
You coming, Jim?
It's tempting. This
Wait, when is this
the
happening?
very
Holy
first
shit!
time.
So this is April 29th, 30th.
Yeah, last weekend
and the first.
I haven't missed it since the first time
I
we
know,
and
dude.
Doug
You want me
went
to bring the
ago,
chairs,
so
Liza?
it's-
Yes,
I'm
bring the
dirt biking
chairs.
like
It
right
won't be
for
the
it.
same without you, Jim.
I know. We get into some. Mike McCarthy was like, "You got to come because
Hey,
you need
and
this
heads up, get your
circumstantial trouble
tickets
we get in.
now because they're still restricting. They're selling them in shifts. That's how they do it. You can buy a ticket. I think it's good for
a couple hours or
a
whatever.
couple hours or something.
Yeah.
So or you can buy the VIP, which gets you like the whole day or something like that. So make sure you buy your tickets now. We'll be there the whole weekend. Yeah.
Le en show.
And look for the Misfits. We gotta mess with Mike.
What?
We gotta mess with Mike because he's gonna be there.
Yeah, Mike's
Yeah.
big. He can kick
I
ass.
know.
I don't
What,
wanna mess with him
McCarthy?
too much.
Yeah.
Oh well, Mike's
Mike-
he's nice. I don't want to mess with him either.
No, but maybe
both the mics are.
we-
big.
No, big award-winning Mike. We'll
Oh,
come up with
what?
something.
Yeah,
Mikey
we'll,
3 times.
we will come up with some
mean-
game to play and some swag
Soon to be
give away.
Mikey 6 times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. And I guess we'll stop and buy more chairs and set up the
Yeah.
Misfits corner like we did last times. Come in and join us and hang out and have a place to sit. Mm-hmm. So that is big news. Thank you for sharing that, Em.
No, it's
Big
huge
news.
news. So
Big
it's
news.
2 years on the trot for me with different bikes, which is
Yeah.
great.
You went last year, or was it the year before?
No,
Yeah.
last year.
Last
year.
It was
Last
the
year
gold wing you went with.
the turbo wing.
Ah, that's right.
And so
Award-winning.
this year's the Trident.
Sick.
And then hopefully 23, I'll probably put in the Super Glide.
Knock, you want to come?
Yeah, it sounds like it's doable. We'll just-
Yeah, I'm going to fly up and
fly up.
fly up and back.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
planning
a
on
good time.
riding up if the weather's good.
And it's happening at this old shipyard. It's really cool.
dope, dude.
building,
So,
dude.
It's cool now.
you
Like
know
at
what?
the shoreline or
So-
somewhere? or
Yeah,
at
it's
the-
right on the
river.
water.
They used to
sick.
launch barges out of it.
Bagel,
That's
you
rad.
need to get us a decent Airbnb.
Yeah.
What
They're
about that
ready
place
to-
we had last time? That was adorable.
Well, now
I
if Jim
don't
and
know if
Knock
that
are
one's
coming, we
available.
might need
I don't
more.
know.
So we'll see. We'll make it work. Hey,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Me and
I want to
Knock will
wrap
get our
this
own
up.
spot.
Hey, big thanks to everyone for listening, making this far. And yeah, for all the people coming by and taking gear away. Thank you.
Yeah, good gear.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to get rid of it.
Take our gear.
Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. You'll find links there to everything. And don't forget our YouTube channel. And look for the show notes for the link for the Dolomites tour with Miss Emma.
Yes, it's Kat and Miss Emma's Alpine Adventure.
Dolomite Tour. Is Rudy Ray Moore going to make an appearance?
Yes, I think so.
On that note. All right. Thanks, everyone. This is Liza.
This is Knock.
Emma, darling.
Lila.
Make a Jim, son.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.